Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace, mercy, and blessings of God be upon you, and welcome back to Join the Mahdi. And as always, I'm your host, Ardijan and Al-Mahdi.
And I'm Alexandra Al-Mahdi.
So there has been a new video that has come out on the Mahdi Has Appeared YouTube channel discussing a certain point that people have made in regards to testing whether or not Al-Musadaq is who he claims to be. And one of the things that people have unfortunately keep on bringing up, although it is a misconception, is the aspect of miracles. And it says on the thumbnail, "Can you perform miracles?" ? And the title of the video is called "The Miracles of the Mahdi Al-Musadaq." So yeah, it's a very important video because it goes over miracles and how miracles are not really a proof. However, it is a case where a miracle can also, at the same time, in a way, be a proof. And this is something we can go over, and it's something that we will go over a little bit briefly. So, Alex,
and you know, miracles is like the first question that many people ask when we say that Al-Musadaq, from whom his peace is a vicegerent of God, he's the successor of Jesus and all of the prophets and messengers. They say, okay, what miracles has he performed? Show me proof of his miracles. But you know, there's a very good reason that miracles are not. Well, there's very good reasons actually that miracles, they're not a proof of whether someone who is appointed by God or not. And you know, there is a few reasons for this. You know, the first one is that you know, even when prophets and messengers did perform miracles, they were often belied. There were often excuses made to explain away their miracles. And also, not all prophets and messengers even came with miracles. So how can we use that to rule someone out? You know, but if all of the prophets didn't come with miracles, then we could have like rejected a true prophet just because they weren't able to do miracles or they didn't come with miracles. And the third evidence is, you know, that the Antichrist, Dajjal, can perform miracles. So we'll get into all of this a bit more later. But also we have, you know, in recent news, basically our dear brother Hassan from London, who's gone out and he's spoken to this sheikh on Speaker's Corner, basically. He was giving dawah to people, and, you know, we have the videos basically of him talking to the sheikh, who's come up with a very ignorant response basically to the dawah and to the proofs that Al-Musadaq, from whom his peace comes with. So let's go to the first clip.
You know, so the calamity first, he said, give me pen and paper. I'll write something which will protect you from misguidance. So he wrote in that will the 12 Imams, alayhi salam. He starts from Imam Ali, Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein, and he wrote the 12 Mahdis. Have you heard of that hadith?
The 12 Mahdis.
Yeah.
We have this hadith.
Yeah.
After 12 Imam, 12 Mahdis.
Yes. Clear.
We have this hadith. And another hadith, Imam alayhi salam said, the Mahdi is not Imam.
The Mahdi is not Imam.
From Shia, and the core people make da'wah for people to follow Ahl al-Bayt, not Imam.
Oh, okay. Where is that? Which book is that about?
This is in Ghaibat al-Shaykh al-Tusi. We have this, this book.
Okay.
But, no, actually,
you believe in God.
No, because, for example, when Rasulullah said, follow these 12 Imams and 12 Mahdis, it's meaning...
No, not say to follow 12 Mahdis.
He said, I'll show you.
No.
My friend,
I read this hadith.
Okay.
Excuse me. He don't say follow 12
Imams. He don't... Okay.
No, he said...
After them...
Excuse me. Then we must read all riwayat. He said, after me 12 Imam. Only 12 Imam. You know, this is all books say like
okay, but not follow.
No, we must follow this 12 Imams. And the Imams say, because some people say, I ask, this is 12 Imam, Mahdis, what is this? You must follow them. They say, this is from Shia.
Shia follower.
La. The Mahdis is like me, you.
Oh, so I can be a Mahdi. He can be a Mahdi.
Inshallah.
Really? So when Rasulullah is saying...
Yeah, Imam say from Shi'atuna, not say from Hujjatullah. He say Imam for Shi'atuna.
So that means that anybody can be Mahdi.
Yeah?
Yeah. Anyone?
Yeah. But these people come for after Imam Mahdi alayhi salam.
Okay, one question.
But from Shia, not Hujjatullah.
Okay.
The first one, Imam say Mahdi is from Shia.
Okay.
What do you mean from Shia?
His followers.
Exactly.
Yeah, not only his followers.
Not Hujjatullah.
Yeah.
I know what you say.
I believe Mahdi, you know the 12 Mahdi, Imam Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Askari. Al-Mahdi, he's a Hujjah. Okay, how do I call him?
Hujjatullah, but name Imam
is wrong.
We have riwayat. She said, don't mention Imam.
And he
You're not allowed to say, okay, I didn't know.
Okay, well, that was pretty intense.
Yeah, extremely strange and ignorant response from this non-working scholar. He's actually called Sheikh Al-Musadaq. He's actually got a YouTube page as well. If we can bring up that slide, the image of his YouTube homepage. So yeah, in this clip, here's his homepage.
12,000 subscribers, huh?
Yeah, and he's dressed in this same costume that he's wearing on Speaker's Corner, which is interesting. And yeah, so this guy, he's in this clip. This is the first clip out of 3, and he's saying in this clip, that all Shia can be Mahdis, basically. So Brother Hassan is talking about the proofs that Abu Sadiq comes with, the fact that he's appointed by name by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in his will, and the response is that anyone can be a Mahdi as long as they're a Shia, which is a very strange response, and it doesn't make any sense at all.
No, it's a stupid response too.
Yeah.
I mean, that just proves that this scholar is nothing but a liar. He is lying to the face of our brother, and our brother, by the way, knows that he's lying, because clearly from the narrations of the Ahlul Bayt, if that man has read any of the books, which he is supposed to if he's a scholar, but if he didn't, well, we should inform him. But if he's lying, well, then this just proves again that the scholars are scholars of misguidance and traitors. There are actually many hadiths that talk about Mahdis that come after the 12th Imam, and that not all Shias are going to be Mahdis. This is an impossibility. The Shias today are so split, it's unreal and it's unbelievable. So if we can pull up any slides out there regarding the many Mahdis that come forward, we find here Islamic narrations from the Shia books that this man accepts that there are Mahdis that come after the 12th Imam. It says, the Qa'im will appear from among us, and after him there will be 12 Mahdis. So he said 12 Mahdis. He didn't say anything about that all of the Shias would be Mahdis, that the 1.2 or 120 million Shias are going to be Mahdis. It's only 12. And then Imam Al-Sadiq alayhi salam is being asked here. He said, I told Imam Al-Sadiq, O son of the Prophet, I once heard your father saying that after the Qa'im there will be 12 Mahdis. And then he said, indeed, he said 12 Mahdis, and he did not say 12 Imams. They are from our followers, who shall call upon people to support us and who shall identify our right. So clearly over here we see that from the Shia, right, from the followers of the Ahlul Bayt would come 12 Mahdis. That is what we've been saying. We've been saying that the 12 Mahdis are individuals who do not have inherent infallibility. It is earned infallibility. They are followers until they reach a point in which they are completely infallible, and the 12 Mahdis are mentioned. So anyway, also we have over here, because the Qa'im is one of the Mahdis, it says over here, O Abu Hamza, verily there will be from us after the Qa'im 11 Mahdis from the sons of Al-Hussein. So clearly from these hadiths, and there's many hadiths, and these are just only 3 that we published, but clearly there is many Mahdis that come, including the will of Prophet Muhammad, where Prophet Muhammad himself said that there are 12 Imams and 12 Mahdis after them. And it says it over here very clearly. Then there will be 12 Mahdis after him, meaning the 12th Imam. So if death comes to him, let him hand it over to his son, the first of the close ones. So the son of the 12th Imam, the first of the close ones, he has 3 names, one like mine and my father's, and it is Abdullah, Ahmed, and the third name is Al-Mahdi, and he is the first of the believers. So clearly here, without any shadow of a doubt, we see that Prophet Muhammad, Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq, and many of the other Imams have all collectively said that after the 12 Imams, there are 12 Mahdis. Very, very clear. Did not say that all of the Shias become Mahdis. It does not say that you can possibly become a Mahdi if you are good enough. It is clearly stated by the Prophet that after the 12 Imams, you must follow the 12 Mahdis. They are Hujjas. If they were not Hujjas, the Prophet would not write a will and say about that will, if you hold on to it, you would never go astray. Yeah. And on top of that, just as a closing point before we continue on, there's a hadith from the Shias that actually say that the person who succeeds Imam al-Mahdi and buries him and does hunut on him is going to be the Imam al-Hussein in his return. Imam al-Hussein in his return succeeds Imam al-Mahdi. They also talk about the return of Muhammad, the return of Ali, and the return of many other individuals. So then it is logical that if Imam al-Hussein succeeds Imam al-Mahdi, well then who is one of the Mahdis? obviously Imam al-Hussein. So for sure, Imam al-Hussein is a hujjah for the Shias, and for sure he returns as a hujjah and as a successor for the 12th Imam, Imam al-Mahdi. So this scholar clearly has no idea what he's talking about, complete liar, completely ignorant, and just made a big fool out of himself on the streets of Speaker's Corner.
Yeah,
I mean, Alex,
huge
I mean,
fool
it
of
is.
himself. And then he goes on to say things which are even stupider, basically, than what he just said. So should we go to the next clip?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's
do
go
this.
to the next clip.
Do you know Ahmad al-Hassan?
I've heard of him, yes.
Do you believe him?
The Yamani?
Imani? Do you
Yes,
believe?
yes,
He say I'm Imam, yeah?
نعم.
Say I'm Imam. So you are from Ahmad al-Hassan, which Abdullah Hashim you follow?
نعم. He's the Qa'im. He's Qa'im of Rasulullah.
Okay. Listen, somebody called me in the channel and he won't make debate. If you see him,
really?
I won't make debate with
No, you
him or
cannot.
with
Really,
his
you will
office.
accept.
I make debate with him or with his office. I'm ready.
MashaAllah, yes, we can arrange that, yes.
Yeah.
Well, not me personally, but
Exactly. But what I want to say, listen,
That means
Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa ahlul bayti alayhim salam, them give us way to know what's right or false.
perfect. So how do you...
Wait. The first one Imam say, anybody ادعاها مدعٍ. Say I'm Imam. فاسألوه عن تلك العظائم التي يجيء فيها مثله. Like now.
I don't speak Arabic. So
I want to. So now, if I live in the time of Prophet, how I know this is wrong or true? Like Musaylim al-Kadhab, say I'm Prophet.
Yeah.
We know him in the Mu'jizah. Okay?
Translate.
In the Mu'jizah. Like Shaq al-Qamar, like Asa Musa. You know?
Oh, like miracle. you mean.
Exactly.
But okay, I say...
One second. So, anyone, he say, I'm Imam, okay, except, but we need show us
Miracle. But
If he don't, this means he's Dajjal.
But Dajjal can do miracles.
Never ever.
Dajjal in the narration, he said he will bring people. He can do miracles.
narrated for Nasibi book.
Okay.
We don't believe Dajjal make miracles.
Yes.
Because why?
He believes.
Listen. Because Allah, if he make miracle in the hand of his enemy, this means Allah.
So you don't believe
This means
Dajjal.
Allah not God. Wal-iyadhu billah. No, God, he can't make miracle. Sorry, Dajjal. He can't.
Dajjal can't do miracles.
Never ever.
Really?
Yes.
It's in the books.
Yes. And the aql also. So,
But your
da'wah, I'm ready, but if you want full reality, we follow Ahlul Bayt.
Okay.
Ahlul Bayt say, the anyone say, I'm Imam, he must give
miracles. Okay, but I say, for example, we disagree. I say miracle is not enough. We need something, for example, a will.
You can't say, I'm
Yeah, I mean, this is just, it's so ignorant. It's crazy that this is someone who is, saying that he is an authority and guiding the people and, people should listen to his opinion. So let's start with the first point. So he said that if someone comes and says they're an imam, they have to perform miracles, okay? And, like we said at the beginning of the episode, not everyone who is appointed by God came with miracles. So, if we use this as a criteria, we'd be ruling them out.
True.
When they did come with miracles, for example, with Moses, people used excuses to disbelieve in those miracles regardless, even after they'd seen them. So miracles are never going to be actually a proof. And, actually, if you ask the Quran who it is that asks for miracles, it always says the disbelievers and the polytheists.
True.
These are the people who are asking for miracles as a proof. They're not a proof for the believers, actually, and they never have been. Miracles are something which are they exist in order to strengthen the faith of people who already have faith. They're never going to be a proof upon the disbelievers. And he made this insanely ignorant point, basically, where he says that the Dajjal will never perform miracles, because Hassan, he's making the point that yes, the narrations state that Dajjal, he does come with miracles, and this sheikh, he says this will never happen. But it just shows he has no understanding of the books of narrations at all. He has no understanding of the religion. The Dajjal does come with miracles, and there are several miracles which have been pointed out, even similar ones to the ones the prophets and messengers do, like raising the dead, and like resurrections, basically. So there's a narration that states that the Dajjal will bring back to life a believer who he had cut in half, you know. So yeah, for sure, this is a very ignorant thing to say. It's 100% wrong.
For sure.
And this man has no business whatsoever guiding the people in religion.
Yeah, no, he has no business at all. And on top of that, I mean, yeah, there are many miracles that have been recorded, as you were saying. The Dajjal is able to bring someone back from the dead. The Dajjal has a very, very long lifespan. The Dajjal, according to even the books of the Shia, carries with him a mountain of fire and a mountain of food. There's a lot of miracles that the Dajjal is recorded in the books of the Muslims. But if he wants to say that, look, the hadiths are not true, okay, well, I guess he can agree that he believes in the Quran. Who do we see is not a prophet, somebody who is a Dajjal and who deceived his people and used a miracle or used a great sign in order to deceive his people? That would be the Samiri. The Samiri took the dust from the messenger and blew it upon the crafted golden calf. And it started to make a mooing sound. So he made an inanimate object miraculously perform and iterate a mooing sound, like a cow. And then he told the people to worship it, that this is a God of Moses, but he forgot. And that's according to the Quran. So if a miracle was a proof, then this man in the time of Moses would have abandoned Moses and followed the Samiri. Which is ridiculous. This is a stupid way to abandon Moses and to believe in the Samiri. So the people, we need to educate ourselves now. I mean, it would be illogical. It would be preposterous, really, to follow somebody whether based on whether they can perform miracles or not perform miracles. Al-Musadaq, actually, in the latest episode today that was released, he even brings up a very, very valid point that there was no miracles that Prophet Joseph came with. From the beginning up until the end, you know, he was a dream interpreter.
Exactly, he could interpret dreams, and that was what he came with.
But it wasn't a miracle. It's
exactly.
It's not like he turned water into wine. It's not like he walked on water. It's not like he raised someone from the dead. It's not like he knew how much gold was in someone's pocket. None of that. And also Enoch, for example, Idris. There's not a single recorded miracle in the Quran about Idris except that he was raised to paradise. But it's not like he used that as a proof for his people. Jacob, Isaac. You know, these individuals, none of them you would find performing miracles to prove their case.
Exactly. And, you know, furthermore, Al-Musadaq, from him his peace, he is one of the vicegerents of God who does come with miracles, and his miracles are, you know, the same as the miracles that Prophet Jesus came with. You know, he has raised people from the dead. He has healed people who were close to death. You know, he made the moon disappear, and all of these miraculous things that have been seen by hundreds of people and witnessed by hundreds of people. And, you know, just recently, a miracle was witnessed by the whole world, you know, when the black banners were raised at the Vatican on Easter Sunday, and that caused the Pope Francis to die, the false Pope, you know, and in the same way that,
the burning bush sign. So, we had the Pope Francis sign, as you said. And many other signs. I mean,
exactly. So Al-Musadaq, from his peace, he has done miracles, but yet we find that these miracles have not been a proof for the disbelievers. You know, they've only been something which served to strengthen the faith of the believers, because the disbelievers will never see the miracles, you know, performed by the vicegerent of God as proof. You know, they'll always find a way to explain it away, and we hear it, you know, very often. We know that there's no such thing as coincidence, but people are always coming on and saying it's just coincidence that Pope Francis died. It just happened like that. Stop saying it's a miracle. You know, this is what the disbelievers say. It's like when Moses was performing miracles in the palace of Pharaoh and they accused him of being a magician. They just found other ways to explain away, you know, these miracles that were happening. So yeah, miracles will never be a proof. But Al-Musadaq, from whose peace he has, you know, at the same time, you know, there have been many miracles with him. So I think we've got like one more last clip. I think he's saying similar things, but let's just go to that clip, and then we can finish off this topic.
No.
You follow Ahlul Bayt?
We disagree.
Do you follow Imam?
I follow, yes.
Finish. Yes. Imam say, anyone, he say, I'm Imam.
Anyone does.
Yes.
Of course.
We must ask him for miracle.
Okay, he does, Abdullah Hashim alayhi salam, he does miracles. Okay, I say.
What is miracle?
You want to see physically? Okay, go to Ahmadi religion website. You can see the miracles. See, now you're laughing.
Oh, brother.
Wallah,
brother.
The miracles
you know
there.
No,
you said.
Wallah,
You said.
Listen. I can't do more what he'd say. Listen. I can't do the miracle. You know what I mean? Shaq al-Qamar. عصا like Musa alayhi salam.
نعم.
إحياء الموتى.
He
The
brings
people
someone
die
dead.
and they come back for
Yes,
for
he
their
did.
life.
He did.
Listen.
He did brought someone
okay.
dead.
Bismillah. Bismillah. You can't, brother.
Listen,
you can't
we're
continue
not arguing.
Listen, if he has,
Okay.
Allah,
So you're saying, let me say now,
Yeah.
to identify the true Imam, you have that person, number one, has to show miracles. That's number
Exactly.
one. Okay, is that it or there's more? Miracle?
النص على عينه. We have the hadith. النص على عينه. What does this mean? What does this mean? من كنت مولاه فهذا علي مولاه. He said this.
Okay,
see?
so he says that.
النص, and the second one المعجزة. And with your Imam, we must ask him for معجزة. Because why? Listen. He said, hello people, I am Imam. Hello people, I am Mahdi. Hello people, follow me. Brother,
No, he did not say that. He said, listen, my name was mentioned in the tongue of the Prophet Muhammad. Let me finish.
I can't say.
Where?
Wait. I can't say now.
Yeah.
Example. I can't say, hello people, okay? I am from Morocco. If I say like this. If I say, I'm not, but example. I'm not from Morocco. But if I say, I am from Morocco, and we have riwayat, the last time he was coming Morocco, yalla people, come, follow me.
No, where's your name mentioned in the will of the Prophet?
Morocco.
Well, show me now.
We have hadith. Al-Maghribi.
Show me where Rasul.
Al-Maghribi.
But you have to show me. Rasulullah said, after me, there's going to be this man named Al-Maghribi. Follow him.
We have hadith talking for Khurasan. We have hadith talking for Misri. We have hadith talking for Maghribi.
Yes.
We have hadith talking for,
No, but
excuse me, Yamani. Not just one. Now listen, think. If I want reality, anyone he say, I'm Yamani, I'm Maghrib, I'm Misri, I must ask him for proof.
Evidence, yeah. So I'm telling you, there's three evidence. Number one, there's a will. Number two, that person has to have knowledge, ilm, unseen knowledge. And number three, he calls people to supremacy to God. Only God.
This is wrong.
Yes, this isn't.
Okay, that was awkward.
Yeah, so
that was
Hassan
weird.
is giving him the law of knowing the vicegerent of God, basically, the will, the knowledge, and the call towards the supremacy of God, and he's just, refusing and
He's
talking about miracles again, which
he's
is
refusing,
really tragic.
and he's saying things I don't even understand. Like I can't even comprehend what the guy is half of the time saying, and he's mixing in Arabic words with English words, and he's just.
It sounds like he's talking gibberish, and it's like literally astonishing to me that anyone takes this person as an authority, anyone takes their religion or advice from someone like this. His manners are extremely awful as well when you compare him to Hassan, who's like very polite and good mannered and speaking nicely, and he's very rude and like shouting and just refusing to listen.
Like shouting from the top of his lungs as if the person next to him can't hear.
Yeah, but anyway, it's really astonishing.
Yeah, no, it is astonishing. And what I found very strange was especially the end points when he's basically, when the brother said there are three proofs, which is the will, the knowledge, and calling to the supremacy of God. You see that suddenly he cuts in and he's like, no. I mean, Habibi, what do you mean? No. Because if you read the narrations of the Ahlul Bayt, actually they bring up those
exactly.
3 points.
They make it very clear in the narrations of the Ahlul Bayt, and he's claiming to be a follower of the Ahlul Bayt, which is insane.
Yeah, because he said, okay, when he said the Ahlul Bayt, when they say if someone claims to be an imam, ask them for miracles. Actually, the hadith does not say that. It says this. It says, a person asks the Imam Al-Musadaq, the one who claims this matter, what is his proof? Like how would we know? He said he is asked about the halal and the haram, right? So he would have knowledge, right? He would have knowledge about the permissible and the impermissible, right? Ask him about that. But then Ali came and said, 3 proofs do not gather in a person except that he is a companion of this matter. That first of all, he is the most deserving of the right of the one who was before him. So this is kind of like the supremacy of God. He has a right to rule. He is the most deserving after the one who came before him. That he has a weapon, and the weapon
is knowledge.
Is knowledge. Because I mean, if it was a weapon like a sword, I mean, everybody has swords, or everybody can produce and buy a sword. It's not really a requirement.
Yeah, exactly. The knowledge is what truly defeats the enemies of the vicegerent of God.
Exactly. And that he will be the owner of the apparent will. So all 3 of these points, which are found in this hadith, is something that we are using. But this scholar is saying that this is not true. But okay, then this scholar now needs to go back to Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq and actually see what Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq has to say, if he truly is a Shia scholar or if he's just a person in a cosplay costume.
Exactly. My God, it just shows like the evilness of these people, that they have no idea what they're talking about. They're making things up as they go along. They're completely like talking from a place of like 100% ignorance. They haven't even bothered to look into what the books of Muhammad and the family of Muhammad say. They haven't even bothered to look at what they're actually saying at all. They haven't bothered to try and learn about their own religion, but they're just telling people that they're there to guide people. You know, this is the definition of evil in religion, because people are going to be taken in by this, you know, like especially like humble people who are just looking for guidance, you know, but they're looking in the wrong place. They're going to be taken in by these people. And this is why, you know, the scholars of the end times are the most evil creation under the sky. You know, they are devils, basically. They are enemies of the Mahdi. They don't care about taking you to heaven. They don't care about even going to heaven themselves. You know, all they want to do is have this position of authority over the people, and they'll do anything to keep it. You know, how can anyone talk with this much confidence in themselves when they know they're misguiding people? Like, that is just the definition of evil. Like, it's just so bad. And you know, for sure, this guy, like, you know, of course, if he came around and accepted Abu Sadiq from his peace and he accepted the truth, and you know, for sure he would be forgivable and everything. You know, we're not saying there's no chance for him, but I mean, you know, if he carries on like this, you know, it's just so evil. You know, yeah, I don't even have words for it. Like, you know, these people who are doing this, you know, they must stop. And you know, the more important thing is that the people, you know, you must wake up and stop listening to them.
Yeah, and you know, the person in question too, the scholar himself, was saying that he must produce proof, you know, like basically that he has to perform miracles. Well, okay, I mean, the moment that the brother said, if you go on our website, you would be able to see the miracles, he starts laughing like a demon. Like straight out of hell, he just starts laughing. And it goes to show you that he doesn't want to see miracles. Actually, he was laughing about the miracles that were recorded. So miracles are not a proof for the scholar, even though he says that the Mahdi must come with miracles. And my God, me, you, Alex, and everybody in this community, we have at least seen at least one miracle, if not two miracles at the very least, from the dozens of miracles that Abu Sadiq has performed. Many of us have seen many of miracles with him. So I mean, like what is this guy talking about? If anything, and Abu Sadiq said, he said that he will not testify on his own that he performed miracles. He said, go to my people, ask them, and we can tell you for a fact, straight up, that yes, we have seen Abu Sadiq perform
just to
miracles.
be around Abu Sadiq, from whose peace, to be in this community, is to see these miracles happening around him, you know, on an almost daily basis. So yeah, I think we've got one more clip, so let's just go to that clip.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, there's three evidence. Number one, there's a will. Number two, that person has to have knowledge, ilm, unseen knowledge. And number three, he calls people to supremacy to God. Only God.
This is wrong.
Yes, this is
this is wrong. Imams, you follow Imam?
Ali Islam.
Imam say, anybody say I'm Imam, we must ask him for miracle.
Okay, I'm showing you there is miracles.
You ask your Imam for miracle?
Okay, he brought someone from the dead. Okay, I'll give you one example.
Excuse me, what mean miracle?
Something that's ajib, amazing. No one can do. Only Allah. I'll give you. Okay.
What this mean? What this mean?
He brought someone.
Somebody died. Come back.
Yes, I'll show you. He did this. I'll show you. So now you don't believe. He did someone.
No.
I'll show you.
Brother,
someone has.
Excuse me. I'm ready. I'm ready to go, and we have 3-4 channels.
Really, you're ready?
We have 3-4 channels, and we go, and we need Sia. Bismillah.
Can you hear that? Yeah, inshallah.
Bismillah.
Inshallah, you debate with them.
Let's go. And we need Sia miracle, okay? Bismillah.
Bismillah.
We're ready.
Let's see.
You can contact me, okay?
Okay, what's your name?
Ali Al-Musadaq.
Ali.
You can contact me.
Okay, no problem. Then we'll have discussion. Okay. Anyway, nice to meet you, bro.
Okay, so he's saying, you know, you must ask, if this person is saying they're Imam, you must ask them for miracles. But once again, you know, if we look at the Quran, who are the people who are asking for miracles? It is always the disbelievers and the polytheists. So yeah, he's making this point, and he clearly hasn't even looked at the Quran either, you know.
Clearly not. And I mean, clearly, again, he starts laughing again when he's, because he was like, oh, bring a person back from the dead. And then he says, oh, he did bring a person back from the dead. And his reaction was what?
to laugh. Exactly. So clearly miracles aren't a proof for him. They're not an evidence for him because he's disbelieving in them. Exactly. Like as soon as he's hearing that he does perform miracles, he's not even saying, look, you're claiming that this is someone appointed by God and he's doing miracles. Let me go and research that. Let me go and look into it. He's just laughing because he's already dismissed the fact. He's already decided that it's not true, and this is why miracles will never be a proof. So yeah, this whole conversation is just a complete mess.
You know, it was a mess, and you know, I can't even believe that he even wears a turban and wears the clothing of the prophets and can hold himself like that and claim to be a scholar of Islam. I mean, that is beyond silliness, and that is beyond satanic, because and it actually fulfills the words of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and his family, when he said that very soon, you know, the demons that Solomon had cast away and had sealed away would come back and would start teaching the people the Quran and all of these things. So
literally, this is being fulfilled right in front of your eyes. But you know, I mean, Brother Hassan did a very good job in this conversation. You know, he represented he explained the proofs very well, you know, and he represented the dawah well. So yeah, you know, and if this like sheikh, he does want to debate us, you know, for sure, like we'll be able to arrange that.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think that he would, because I mean, how can he come back from not only what Hassan did, but I mean all the hadiths that we just showed on the television? Because if he's watching now, I mean, he can't. There's nothing to stand on. What can you now use as a proof and evidence after what Abu Sadiq said, after what we had shared about what Abu Sadiq said? What can you say now to deflect anything, unless you leave Shia Islam altogether and start a new religion and make up something yourself in order to say like, hey, look, I don't even believe in this stuff anyway.
Yeah, so, you know, I would say to the Sheikh, Ali Al-Musadaq is his name, you know, I'd say to him, you know, look into the Quran, look into the books of narrations of Muhammad and the family of Muhammad, see what they say, you know, see what they say about the scholars of the end times, and actually do your research, you know, and then, you know, do research on what we're actually saying, do research on what Abu Sadiq from him, his piece, is actually saying, before you just outright reject in the way that you've done.
Exactly, you know, and that's what Abu Sadiq has always said. He said, look, and he actually said in the last video that Jesus, for example, and he himself, it's the same thing. They do not testify for themselves, because if they testified for themselves, then their testimony is worthless, but rather it is someone else who testifies for them. We have been testifying for them. God, especially for the foremost and in the front line, has testified for Abu Sadiq, and that's why he's always said, hey, if you don't believe in me, if you don't believe in me and what I'm saying or anything that the believers here are saying, okay, then go and ask God if you truly believe that you are a person working on God's behalf. Well, then God should be able to tell you if this person is true or not. But anyway, I believe that we have a caller right now on the line. Peace be upon you.
Hello.
Hello.
So,
hi.
I'm a skeptical person by nature. Would you guys say you are as well?
I mean, for sure. I mean, I was skeptical about, when I was younger, I was skeptical about almost everything that had to do with what people were telling me about, unless I did my own research.
I was extremely skeptical, especially about religion, you know, to the extent that I was actually an atheist most of my life until I found this dawah. So yeah, I would say I would be a skeptical person.
And I just have done a little research about Abdullah and have seen that in the past he's exposed cults. Is that the same person?
Yes, that is the same person. He has exposed falsehood, because that is the job of the Mahdi. The job of the Mahdi is to expose falsehood.
And then, so I'm wondering, do you agree that when the Mahdi comes, we will see a star or a comet appear? Everyone across the planet will hear a voice proclaim him from the sky, and a sinkhole will swallow up an army near Mecca. Is that all correct?
I mean, probably not in its literal interpretation. Like, for example, I really can't comment on the narration that you are talking about, which I have read before. But what I can say is that not every sign is literal. Like, for example, the sun rising from the west, for example, because there are narrations that say the sign of the Mahdi or the sign of the end times is like when the sun rises from the west. We don't believe that that sign that is a literal sign. We believe that the sun rising from the west is the Mahdi rising from the west.
Yeah.
So maybe that's one example.
Yeah, maybe the shout coming from the sky isn't necessarily like in the way that we imagine it, you know, in this magical shout coming, which everyone hears, you know. Maybe it's like talking about something that it couldn't really explain, you know, when that narration was written. Maybe it's talking about how, like, the Mahdi is talking to people through satellite TV.
It could be that, but yes, the thing is that a lot of these signs are not literal, and we're talking about people who are speaking a language that could not use, for example, television, smartphones. There's a narration that says in the end times, during the time of the Mahdi, the believers would be able to see one another. If they were in the east of the world and the west, they would still be able to see each other, although they're in opposite sides of the world. So, yeah, I mean, not all signs are literal.
And just one last question. What would you two say, or for each of you, what brought you to believe that this man is the Mahdi? What was the strongest sign for you, or what was that moment where you were like, wow, this is the Mahdi?
Well, I mean, you know, we believe that God does not misguide people who are sincerely looking for him. So, you know, for me, I was someone who, you know, I was skeptical about all religious leaders and mainstream religions that existed in the world. So I just asked God to guide me. I didn't speak to any people when I started looking for the truth. And God guided me straight to Abu Sadiq, from him his peace. And yeah, so this was like for me, it was like a big series of synchronicities and miracles and dreams, which actually led me to the truth and being sure who Abu Sadiq, from him his peace, was. And I think many people who have actually become believers in him have a similar story. You know, they actually asked God, they went to God, they didn't take any other person's word for it.
And you, bro, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Ardijan?
Ardijan, but as for me, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, there's a lot to my journey, but I suppose one of the strongest things that I can say is logical, which is that, you know, the Mahdi brought to everyone's attention that in the Old Testament, New Testament, and the Quran, all of the prophets, messengers, and people who are chosen by God have come with the same proofs. But these proofs, which are three, which is calling people to the supremacy of God, astounding knowledge, and a will that confirms that they are somebody that is sent. All three of this is only found with the Mahdi, but it can't be found in somebody such as the priest next door, or the Pope in the Vatican, or somebody who just randomly comes out and says, hey, I'm a prophet because I feel like I am. So he's declared himself as the Abdullah mentioned in the will of Prophet Muhammad. He also claimed to be the righteous servant in the scroll of Isaiah, and he brought forward a lot of scriptural proofs that points to him. So I believe if someone is skeptical in terms of the spiritual side of things, I would go that route on researching, okay, how were all the other prophets and messengers confirmed? If they were confirmed in the same way, then this man must be who he says he is, because nobody came with the same proofs in over 1,400 years except for him.
Okay. Well, thank you guys. I just wanted to ask those few questions. I appreciate your time.
No, thank you so much for coming. And if you want to learn more, you can reach us out. I mean, you can reach out to us on our website, theahmadireligion.org, or you can message us and we can continue talking if you have any more questions.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man. All right, you take care, okay?
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Peace be upon you. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of proofs, and everybody takes proofs differently. You know, some people, it's because of a dream. Some people, it's because of istikhara. Some people, because somebody testified for a miracle, or they heard the voice of Abu Sadiq and it resonated with them.
Yeah.
You know, there's 1,000,001 different reasons.
Yeah, and you know, the most important thing is when you're on a journey, when you're looking for the truth, whether you're wanting to find out, you know, where is the truth, or you're wanting to find out whether Abu Sadiq, from him his peace, is a truthful claimant or not. The most important thing is just being open, you know, to be open to either outcome, you know, to say you want to find the truth, whatever the truth is. I think that's something that a lot of the believers have in common, that They just wanted to find the truth, whatever it is, and they were willing to accept any answer they got. And this is how, you know, the truth comes to us, basically. The truth comes to anyone, because God will not misguide the people who are sincerely looking for him, and he will make us like able to understand. And, you know, if we're people who don't want this call to be true, if we don't want Abu Sadiq, from whom his peace, to be appointed by God, then, you know, we won't be able to see that, because we'll make whatever excuses, just like this sheikh that we've seen. But yes, I think we have another caller on the line, so let's go to that call. Assalamu alaikum.
Hi guys, how are you?
Good,
We're doing great. How are you?
Good, thank you. Last time I was up here, like kind of our conversation, I don't know, didn't go so well, and they dropped me. So, but I had a question about, you know, the question that I asked was, what's the purpose of this religion? You know, why I ask that question is because, again, I don't want to go back to, you know, it's a long conversation that we had before they dropped me, but pretty much, you know, I wanted to hear what's the purpose, because my understanding is you guys accept everything, and what I was told that, you know, you're gonna appear in front of God on the judgment day the way you are, and like nobody can guide you, or like, you know, nobody can judge you. That's what I was told, but the God. But, you know, that's why I want to know the purpose of the religion.
So the purpose of the religion, you know, what's the reason why anyone enters into a religion? You know, it's to get to either a better life in this world, or for most people, you know, a good hereafter. People, they want to go to heaven. Okay, so the purpose of this religion is the same religion of all of the prophets and messengers. The purpose that all of them came with was to build a divine just state on earth. It was to rule over the earth. So when they were ruling over the people, it was God ruling through them. And this is the way that we actually turn the world itself into a paradise. We turn it into the Garden of Eden. We learn as human beings how to live in a just society. We learn how to put other people first before our own selves. We learn how to stop generating our own bad karma and creating a chaotic life for ourselves. And we learn how to generate good karma. So we enter into like a different dimension as humanity when we follow the leader who is appointed by God. And also it takes us to a better hereafter. Okay, so not only is obeying and submitting to God through the man he appointed, you know, this is fulfilling our obligation towards God. We're also learning how to become good people. So this is the purpose of religion. You know, the message of all of the prophets and messengers, it always was the supremacy of God, the leadership of God, and it was humanity first. You know, humanity is more important than religion. Humanity is more important than anything. You know, building a world where our fellow human being isn't oppressed, isn't suffering, you know, isn't being treated unjustly in any way. And this is a world which becomes a paradise for everyone.
But okay, thank you. But isn't the purpose also to save souls from the devil?
Yeah, but in order to save souls from the devil, you know, by actually submitting and following God through the man that he appointed, this crushes the devil. You know, this is completely going against the devil, and this does save souls from the devil.
Okay, so the reason why I ask is because, again, I asked what's the stance on, and I don't want to like keep on going on that, but about the genders, homosexuality.
Yeah. Okay, so look, I'm just going to answer this quickly because we don't have too much time left, okay? What does Satan want to do? How does he want to misguide people? You know, does he want to misguide people by making them LGBTQ? Or does he want to misguide people, you know, to repeat the same actions that he did? You know, Satan fell and he was kicked out of the Garden of Eden because he rejected the vicegerent of God of the time. He rejected Adam, the man that God had appointed. It wasn't, you know, because he was LGBTQ. So with questions like this, you know, the worst thing that we can do in the eyes of God is actually to follow in the footsteps of Satan. This is how we prevent ourselves from entering paradise, you know, in terms of...
But I had a different question. Honestly, I had a very different question. I was told that if somebody feels like, you know, they're a cat, they're going to appear in front of God as a cat. That's what I was answered.
Yeah, no, you're not going to appear
correct
to
information,
God as a cat.
No, it's not. That's what I was literally, you know, answered, that, you know, we are nobody to,
Yeah, I think
I think
perhaps,
maybe you misheard something there.
Yeah, I think you perhaps misunderstood. But look, generally, this whole thing about Judgment Day, actually, we have answers for that in the book, The Goal of the Wise, which is for free, which is on our website. We believe that nobody judges you really except for your own self and God. You will be able to judge your own self after having your memory erased, and you'll be able to see your life played out, and you would judge yourself without realizing that you're actually judging yourself. But yeah, the book makes out how that is and explains in details why that is. So anyway, brother, unfortunately we're running out of time, but you could probably come up in about 15 minutes where Brother Hussam and Hossaman will come up and perhaps answer your question.
Thank you, guys. Either way, thank you for
Thank you for asking your questions, and we hope that you stick around.
All right.
God bless, man. Peace be upon you. So,
I think we're out of time for today. But
I guess tomorrow, if nothing crazy happens, we can go back to a certain individual on YouTube that responded back to us, which was kind of surprising. Didn't really expect
we'll talk about that tomorrow.
But yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow, hopefully, unless something better comes up, because whatever Abu Salih says anyway is better than what anyone else has to say. But anyway, just stay tuned, take care, and peace be upon you.